Someone is in my world. I didn't want to say that at first because it sounds stupid, but I don't have a better explanation anymore. A few days ago, I noticed a block in my base that shouldn't exist. At first, I ignored it. I thought maybe it was just a visual bug, or maybe one of my friends was just messing with me. So I didn't think much of it and I logged off. Came back later and there was another one in a different spot. And I know this sounds small, but I checked the recording. It wasn't there before. That's when it stopped feeling like a mistake. These are not normal blocks. You can't craft them, you can't even get them in survival. And some of them you can't even remove. They're just there. And it didn't happen all at once. They showed up slowly, one at a time. Just enough that you start noticing something's wrong. And the weirdest part is, they don't feel random. It looks like they're being placed. Just not while I'm there. Which doesn't make sense because no one should be able to do that. At least no one should. But there was one time where something like this was possible. And whatever happened back then, people still don't talk about it properly. Not like it was just some bug. More like something went wrong in a way they couldn't explain. They call it the darkest day in Minefun's history. And if what I'm seeing right now is connected to that, then this isn't something that was left behind. It's something that's still happening. Just when no one's looking. While I was going through the server, just looking at what the glitch left behind, I found something near my base. It wasn't out in the open. It was hidden. There was a chest, and inside it were water blocks just sitting there, which already doesn't make sense. You are not supposed to have those. But that wasn't the weirdest part. It was how they were placed. They weren't stacked, they were not random, they were separated in small groups. So I counted them. 4, 6, 5, 1, 2. At first, it didn't mean anything. I even tried turning it into letters. Nothing. But the grouping, it felt intentional. So I read it differently. 4 and 6. Then 5. Then 1 and 2. Wait. That looks like coordinates? I don't know if that was right, but it was the only thing that made sense. So I went there. And on the way, I started noticing more of those blocks. Not just near my base. Everywhere. Small patterns at first, then bigger ones. Not messy, not random. Placed like the server wasn't broken, it was infected. And when I finally got there, there was nothing. Just a normal beach, which honestly made me think I got it wrong. I searched around, but before I left, I saw something under the water. An air pocket. So I checked it. And that's what I found. A sign. Hidden. Where you won't see it. Unless you were looking for it. And it said UKGAE PMTV. It didn't look like anything I recognized. Not words, but not random either. It was something. You don't just type that by accident. So I tried to make sense of it. Stuff like shifts, simple patterns. But nothing worked. And after a bit, I was pretty sure it was a code. I just didn't know what kind. So I stopped trying to figure it out and just started putting it through whatever I could find. Most of it gave me nothing, just garbage. And then, one of them actually returned something. I didn't even recognize the method at first. I had to check what it was called. A Visionaire cipher. And it gave me this.
Still here.
And that's when it started to feel wrong. Because that message was not random. It wasn't even hidden properly. It was placed in a way that only someone already looking would ever find it. Like I wasn't just exploring the server, I was being led somewhere. And if that's true, then the blocks in my base are not just leftovers from that day. Which means whatever was placing those structures back then wasn't just breaking the world. It was leaving something behind. And if one of those messages says
Still here.
then it means one thing. It never left. I stopped looking at the patterns for a bit. Not because I figured anything out, but because something about it didn't make sense on its own. So I went back to that day. The one everyone keeps mentioning. You already know what happened. Survival just broke. People got access to things they weren't supposed to have. Creative inventory, commands, the magic stick. For a few hours, none of the rules mattered. People were placing anything, anywhere, changing the world instantly. And when it got patched, most of it was cleaned up, but not everything. Some blocks stayed. Some changes stayed. And yeah, technically, that should explain what I'm seeing. It should be just leftovers. But the more I looked at it, the less that made sense. Because leftovers don't form patterns. They don't line up like that. And they definitely don't look like they're trying to say something. So either someone still has access to all of that, or this isn't connected to that day in the way people think. Because whatever this is, it is not random. It feels intentional, like it was placed to be found. So after researching the history, I went back, not to prove anything, just to check if it would happen again. I started recording this time, just in case. At first, nothing really changed. Everything looked the same. Same blocks, same placement, and same base. And honestly, that made it worse, because it felt normal, too normal, like nothing ever happened. So I started walking around again, checking the same spots, making sure I didn't miss anything. Trying to see if there was some kind of pattern I overlooked. And then, right in front of me, a block appeared. Not behind me, not off screen, right in front of me. I looked around, spinning, checking everything. Behind me, above me, chat, tab list, anything that could tell me if someone, anyone was there. Someone invisible. Someone messing with me. but there was nothing. I didn't react immediately. I just walked closer. It had a sign on it. So I read the sign.
Found you.
No, something's behind me. I can hear it. Blocks placing fast. Too fast. Don't look back, just go. It's getting closer. I can hear it. Right behind me. No. It's not stopping. It's not slowing down. Down. Just go down. Go. It stopped. It just stopped moving. Please. I'm logging off. What the fuck just happened? I just sat there for a while, trying to calm down enough to think straight again. I tried to rewatch the footage to analyze what in the world just happened. A block appears right in front of me. No sounds, no players, no delay. And it had a sign, a message. Not code, not some patterns I had to decode. It just said it directly. Which means whatever placed it wasn't leaving something behind. It was responding to me. And that's the part that doesn't make sense. Because even if someone still has access to such commands, even if someone somehow still has magic sticks, they would have to know I was there. They would have to be watching me, tracking me, waiting for the exact moment I looked away, and placing it right in front of me, without being seen, without making a sound, without showing up anywhere. That's not just messing around. That's something paying attention. After a bit, I logged back in. I didn't say anything to anyone. I didn't check chat. I just stood there, waiting to see if anything would happen again. And then I went back. Slowly. No running. Just walking. Trying to see if anything changed. And when I got to that spot, the sign was gone. Completely gone. No item drops, nothing. Just not there anymore. And I know it was there. I read it. I stood there looking at it. And in the recording, the sign is still there. Exactly where I saw it. Exactly how I remembered it. So, in the world, it's gone, but in the footage, it isn't. And I don't know which one is worse. But either I imagined something that never existed, or something was really there. And then it decided to remove itself. And if it can really do that, then it's not just placing things, it's choosing what stays and what doesn't. And for some reason, it didn't want that sign to stay in this world, just in my recording. To be honest, I need to stop treating this like something happening only in my base. Because it isn't. And I think I knew that already. But before I assume anything else, I need to rule out the obvious. So I didn't tell anyone what happened. Not about the sign, not about the recording, nothing. Because if this was just some messed up prank, someone would slip. I just asked my roommates one question. Simply, did you place those blocks? And the answers came immediately.
I don't have anything like that. How do we know it's not you, huh?
I wasn't even online. Why would I even do that?
That couldn't be me.
You are the one who's recording this. Aren't you more sus?
Same kind of responses, different voices. But all of them made sense. That's the problem. Because if even one person was lying, something would have felt off. A hesitation, contradiction, anything. But there was nothing. Everything lined up perfectly. So I didn't push it further. Because at that point, it didn't matter anymore. Not just my base. Not just them. This wasn't local. This was bigger. So I started looking outside. Not just my base, other players, other builds. And that's where it stopped feeling isolated. It was everywhere. Not obvious at first, but once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. Same blocks, same placement, just spread out. Like something had passed through and left pieces of itself behind. I checked places I knew were active. Zephron's base looked fine from distance, but up close, there were blocks that didn't belong to this world. Not broken, not grieved, just wrong. That Glitch Hunter's base, same thing, different layout, same feeling. Like the world had been touched and never fully fixed. And the worst part was, these weren't abandoned places. People log in there every day. They would have noticed. They should have noticed. But the blocks were still there. No one claiming them. No one seeing them being placed. Even the bigger builds, The ones that are constantly recorded, constantly watched. They weren't safe either. It didn't matter where you went. Everywhere felt the same. Like the server wasn't just glitched anymore. It was changing. And whatever caused it didn't stop. And that's when everything connected. Because those messages I found earlier, they weren't isolated. They weren't mistakes. They were part of something bigger. Still here and found you. Those aren't random words. They're confirmations. It's not hiding. It's not trying to stay unnoticed. It's doing the opposite. It's making sure people see it. Slowly, one place at a time. And the worst part is, there's nothing we can do about it. Because even if all of this started with that glitch, even if all comes from the magic stick, there's no way to track it anymore. No logs, no records, no way to tell what's real and what isn't. Which means every new block, every small change, every detail that feels off could be part of it. And if it keeps going like this, if it keeps spreading, then eventually this world won't be the same anymore. After that, I didn't log in for a few days. Not because I was scared, but because I don't see the point anymore. Nothing I did changed anything. The blocks stayed. The message stayed. And there were no answers. So I just left it. But eventually, I logged back in. Not to investigate, just to end it all. That chest I found, I want to break it. I want to get rid of it. Pretend none of this ever happened and move on. So I went back, stood there for a few seconds. And right before I broke it, curiosity got the best of me. I checked it again, just once. Wait, are those blocks different? I swear it wasn't that number before. They moved. No. It shouldn't be possible. It's the same pattern, just wrong. As if it's been changed. I counted them again. 8, 6, 5, 6, 6, 9, 6. At that point, I didn't even try to question it anymore. Instinctively, I just wrote it down. Tried the same thing as before. Letters, shifts, nothing. It didn't make sense. It wasn't even formatted like this the last time. It should have been enough to drop it. But I didn't. So I searched it. Just a number. Exactly how I saw it. I don't even know why I did that. I just searched it. Something came up. Old phones, like keypad texting. Old texting systems where numbers turn into letters. Wait, is this? No. I didn't think it would work. I really didn't. but I tried it anyway. I put it into a decoder and waited. And it gave me
Unknown.
Oh, midnight highway, shining just like sin. Why don't you hear me wonder? Tell me